Paul McCartney's discography is ridiculously long. The man has released more than 26 albums since 1970, and that's not even including his Beatles stuff. But he's not only consistent, because the quality in every single one of these albums is also incredible. Even if you were to look at some of the worst releases, you'd still find only mediocre music, not really bad. However, because of the Beatles and because of this weird narrative that paints Paul as nothing more than a ballad merchant, there's people who overlook some of his albums. Every release of the McCartney trilogy would be an amazing example. The trilogy is amazing and not talked about enough, but an album that is even more underrated in my opinion would be his 1989 release, Flowers in the Dirt. I can already hear the comments claiming that the album can't be overrated if it sold millions and some other stupid stuff, but people who say this ignore the fact that this album was released after a number of questionable albums by Paul, and it was this wonderful piece of music that got him back on the good graces of the critics. In the 80s, it seemed like Paul had lost a big part of his songwriting identity, so when he started collaborating with Elvis Costello, his number one priority was to find that sound again. The result was songs like My Brave Face, This One, and Put It There that guaranteed the McCartney feeling, but Distractions and You Want Her Too with Elvis Costello showed a more seductive side to Paul. The album does have a small fan base and it is praised by the critics, but based on the quality of the record, it should be far more popular in my opinion. So if you're a fan of Paul McCartney and you haven't given this album a try, please do, because I'm sure you're gonna love it.